Recently, I got a call from one of my juniors saying that he's having this feeling of fear and uncertainty after giving this year's NEET 2017. So by the way, he got a pretty big rank in that particular exam. So as aspirants, we're more prone for these kind of feelings, right? So when we're preparing for one particular entrance, we are more prone for these kind of negative feelings, the feeling of fear, anxiety, depression, disappointment, and also uncertainty over future. So what exactly is the reason for this kind of fear or anxiety? Is it only based on our performance in one exam, or has it got anything to do with a wide range of factors that play around us? So in this video, let's try to focus on the problems or the reasons behind these kinds of negative feelings. It can be either fear, disappointment, anxiety, or even uncertainty. And also let's try to discuss various means through which we can overcome these kind of negative feelings, so that ultimately we can focus on our next future course of action. That's very important, right? So the existing problems shouldn't really disturb our course of action in future. That's very important. So we need to focus, stay motivated, and try to perform the best possible means in order to decide and execute our next course of action. Dissecting the problem. As Albert Einstein rightly said, and I quote, "Everybody is a genius, but if you decide or judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's a stupid." So that's the exact kind of system which we are plugged in today. Thanks to the vested interests of corporates in healthcare as well as education system, coupled with innocence of our parents, we are made to believe that we are stupid. We are made to believe that we are successful only when you score high, only when you get a first rank, or only when you crack entrance in first attempt, or only when you get some prizes when you go or participate in a competition. It's like trying to create a mold and asking us to go fit in. Doesn't happen all the time. Most of the students who take biology in intermediate, they come to this stream because they're afraid of mathematics, and vice versa. Is this the kind of system we need? Instead of tapping the true potential of an aspirant, they're exploiting him and his family for money. So what happens once he enters into this system? He tries to force fit himself into the preformed mold, and definitely leads a miserable life because he has no interest, no passion. He's doing it because he's asked to follow a particular pattern. He's conditioned. So he follows it blindly, and ultimately loses the sense and purpose of life, right? This is a very dangerous situation. We need to open up our eyes and we need to start thinking, because the beauty of humans is we are higher organisms in this evolution, right? So we have this higher center called brain. So we can start thinking, we can start applying, create our own mold, create our own universe, and start leading a happier life. So this is one side of the coin. Coming to the other side of the coin, what about peer pressure? Peer pressure really plays a havoc in one's life, especially when you're too much bothered. Since your friends or acquaintances are ahead of you, doesn't mean that they're more successful. It's like they're having their own time, and obviously you will have your own time. Everyone has their own talent, has their own potential, so everyone moves at their own pace. You need to understand that. That's the basic principle of our nature, right? You need to understand that. So everyone has their own time. You will have your own time. So why worry about that? So don't worry, keeping in mind that your friends or your acquaintances are ahead of you. No, you'll have your own time, right? So be patient. Good times are definitely ahead of you. So have that hope, and that really keeps you moving, right? And definitely you're going to have your own good time. And as every phase in life, even this particular phase, that is after completing your graduation and before preparing for post-graduation entrance, like any other phase in life, even this is one such phase, and like any other phase, even this is equally important. I'll not say that this is the most important crucial phase. You have different phases in life. So as any other phase, even this is very important, because if I say that this is the only most important phase, you will realize that I am talking nonsense, because the moment you clear this phase, you go ahead the next phase, it will be even more challenging. So like every phase has its own importance, right? Every phase is crucial in life. Similarly, even this phase is very crucial. you need to be very serious about it, right? And question yourself. So I have few questions for you. So how exactly would you like to see yourself in the next 3 years or 5 years? So try to get some answer for that, and that really helps you stay motivated. So how do you want to see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? As a clinician, as an academician, or as a researcher? So what's your area of interest? What's your passion? And how are you going to really implement your plan so that you can reach your goal or target? Because these questions are really very important. Once you have answers for these questions, you'll start working, because you can overcome the fear and uncertainty only when you start working rather than complaining. So as I mentioned, question yourself. How do you want to see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? And what's your area of interest? What's your passion? And how are you going to implement your plan in order to achieve your passion? For example, if your real interest is to do post-graduation in a particular branch, you have 10 months time, then how do you plan this 10 months in order to achieve your goal? So that's very, very important. And as I mentioned, the best way to overcome fear, anxiety, and uncertainty is to start working rather than complaining, because complaining doesn't really take you anywhere. There's no point in giving some kind of stupid justification for our inability. So only people who are not capable of doing things start complaining. So instead of pointing out fingers at themselves, they'll start pointing out fingers at others. So that's a very, very bad habit. Really, winners do start working. Losers have this habit of complaining. Be a winner, not a loser, right? And never complain. Start working. By working on your goals, by working on your fears, you will gradually distance yourself from all these fears. So keep this in mind. This is very, very important. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying that create or design your own universe. You should be the master of your own destiny. Rather than complaining, start working. Identify your passion, start working, start planning, start working, and discuss with your family and friends, with your close friends, discuss your ideas, try to improvise them, and start applying in your own life. And most importantly, have the right attitude, because attitude does make a lot of difference. It's not really the talent, it's what we do with that talent. That's our attitude really guides us to reach our potential. So having that right attitude, having that right winning attitude, winner's attitude, yes, you can do it. So that's the kind of attitude we need to have. So having that kind of attitude really takes us a long, long way. Ultimately, we need to have this kind of satisfaction, right? We need to have, or we need to create our life in such a way that we feel happy at the end of the day without any regrets, right? So that's what we're trying to achieve all these days, all these years, all these decades, right? Hope I gave you some valuable, relevant, as well as practically feasible inputs. And you can definitely share your opinion in the comments below, or you can mail me personally at proudtobedentist@gmail.com. Thank you for watching the video.